Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to today's live session. We're on session number 51. We're starting a new week and we're almost at the end of April. And I was just writing my journal about, I think, 15 minutes before the session just started. And there was a very interesting fact that I noticed. And so I have this habit of writing down the percentage of the year that has passed every single day. I think I've told you this before in one of the lives, but even if not, just bear with me. I'll repeat it for just 1 second. It's important. It ties in for the conversation that we're going to have today. So I have this habit of writing down the percentage of the year that has passed. I calculate it on my phone, and I've seen this happen again and again and again, that every day is about 0.2 to 0.3% of the year. That's how much weight a day holds. So 3 days is equal to 1% of the year already gone. And today, guess what we've just crossed? We've crossed the 30% mark. I wrote in my diary only, I have it right here. I'll just confirm the exact percentage to you. Yeah, it's 30.1% to be precise. And that got me thinking, well, time is passing by pretty fast. The year is slipping right out of our hands if we think about it. But the pace is not something we can control. The way time is going ahead or time is slowing down, that's not in our hands. And yet, what we do with this time that's in our hands is completely in our control. And that's what today's discussion is about. Because if 30% of the year has already passed this way, we're almost one third of the way through. I don't want that the rest of your year is also passing by in the same way, only unconsciously, without choice, without clarity, without the decisions that actually help you move forward. And so the question is, what is it that truly controls the effect time has on us? And very simply, it's the decisions we make. Think about it. Everybody has the same 24 hours. The billionaire you admire, the leader that inspires you, all those people do not have extra 48 hours or extra 72 hours in a single day. No. That's the one level where God or the universe or whatever you believe in has created the world to be an equal, fair place. No matter how poor you are or no matter how rich you are, time is the one currency we all share the same. And so the effectiveness of how that currency is spent, or rather, how that currency is invested, depends on only one factor. And that factor is the decisions we make. If we are choosing to spend time on one activity, that right there means that we are choosing not to spend time on 1,000 other things that we could do. Right now, you could invest these 15 minutes anywhere you want, but you're choosing to invest them in your growth. You're choosing to invest them in your success. And that choice, my friends, right here is making a massive difference into how the rest of the year shapes up for you to be. So that's the power that our decisions hold. We think it's our actions that define our future. No, it's our decisions. It's the choices we make, because it's only after choice that action can follow through, right? So rather than trying to correct it on the hard level of action, what if we became more conscious, more aware of the way we are making our choices, of the way we are making decisions, so that we're investing our time in the right places and in the right way that we want. Now, before you get me wrong, and before you think I'm talking about hyper productivity or how to optimize your day, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying avoid watching the movies that you want to watch. I'm not saying avoid the fun things that you like to do in your life. I'm not going to be that kind of person who's here to just badger on about productivity. That's not what we're doing. What we are simply looking at is, how are you making the choices you're making? Is that effective for you? And is that aligning with your goals or not? And if we can figure out the answer to these three questions, then any and all decisions that we are making, they become easy, and the way we use our time becomes effective, fulfilling, and satisfying. All three things together at once. So rather than focusing on a surface level solution, I know you're here for depth. I know you're here for clarity. So I know together we can go a bit below the surface and understand the nuance rather than just a quick tip. So let's dive there and let's understand where the title of today's live video comes from, because it's quite a different one than what I usually give. And that was like, how your feelings are making your decisions worse. Now, with the idea that we have, the concept that we just discussed about time and its effectiveness, I want to help you understand how you're making decisions in a way that may not be right for you. And it's probably based on the feelings and emotions that are driving you throughout the day. We think our emotions are a result of our actions, but actually, it's the opposite. Our actions are the result of our emotions. Our emotions are the real drivers. And if we are unaware of how our emotions are showing up in action, then actually we're not using our emotions to upgrade ourselves or to live a better life, but we've become slaves to the fluctuations of our mood. We've become slaves to other people who can trigger a button in us and just throw us off for the entire day. And that is why choosing your feelings and your moods to make your decision on is probably the worst thing that you could do. Let me give you an example. Now I'm doing this live session with you right here on YouTube. I've made a commitment. 8:30 p.m. IST every single day. I'm going to show up live. I'm going to come here. I'm going to have a conversation that helps you grow and that helps you succeed in life. Now, let's say for some reason or the other, before the session starts, I'm feeling very tired. I'm exhausted from a whole days of work. Something or the other might have gone wrong for me. And overall, let's say I'm not in a good mood in my life in that moment. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm probably angry or pissed off at something, and I'm just not in the right mood. Let's assume that's the case for a day. Now, in that moment, the way I'm feeling intuitively is guiding me to rest, is guiding me to relaxation, is guiding me to listening to my favorite music, or just sitting in my chair, closing my eyes, putting on my headphones, and listening to some calm, meditative music. But in 2 minutes, I've got a live session to log into. Now, if I'm letting my feelings define my actions, if I'm letting my feelings drive my decisions, then the problem that happens is consistency and discipline become a fantasy. And without consistency and discipline, success remains a fantasy. So the choice is yours. What do you want? Now, for example, I'm doing this session here with you right now. I'm clear. This is my commitment. This is my decision based on my logic, based on my strategy, based on my desire to serve and help and to contribute and to have conversations that move the needle, not just conversations that sound good. And so, in that moment, even if 2 minutes before logging into the session, my mood is not right, I will make my mood right. But I will show up to the decision I made, and I will not let my mood drive my decision. I will not let my feeling take me into inconsistency, take me into the indiscipline, take me into a place where I am being insincere. Now, that is how you make better decisions, you make clearer decisions. That is where you get this awareness that am I honoring my word? Am I clear? Am I honest? And for honest, it's you who you have to be honest with first. And when you get that honesty, how you use your time completely changes, because rather than being on the whims of your feelings, you're actually doing the things you said you would do. You're sticking through with your promises, you're sticking through with your commitments. And that, my friends, is a magical, powerful place to be in. So, the very first thing to understand is that if you want to utilize your time better, and if you want to live your dream life, and if you want to avoid wrong decisions that lead you to inconsistency, start making decisions based on what you have decided, based on your plans, based on logic, not based on your feelings. And there's another reason I say that. This is not just about productivity. This is about the overall quality of your life and the experience that you have. Because one of the people that I coached over the last few months had just gotten out of an abusive marriage. It hadn't lasted very long, less than a year. And as the whole thing had gone on, and I listened to her and I talked to her, the pain was real, the abuse was real, the trauma was real, the stress was real. And the worst part was, it was not like it was an arranged marriage, it was a love marriage. They'd chosen each other out of choice, out of conscious desire to be each other's life partners for life, as we say, right? But sometimes a lifetime isn't always a lifetime. Sometimes it's just a very, very short amount of time. And in the moment, it can feel heartbreaking. But as you come to the end of the story, you'll understand why that was the biggest blessing for her. She desperately wanted to stay. She desperately wanted to make things work. She loved him after all. She cared for him. She thought he did too. But then she realized, you know what? No, I'm suffering too much here. This is not the life I want. This is not the life I signed up for. These are not the sacrifices I'm going to make. I'm going to get out before it gets too late. She made the choice. She made the call. Was it easy for her? No. Was it something her feelings wanted her to do? No. Did her feeling of love for that person, for that man, allow her to easily make this decision? No. But the fact that she made that decision is the reason she's happy and energetic and full of life today than she was just a few months ago. Now, how does this transformation happen? It doesn't happen when you listen to your feelings, when you listen to your mood, when you listen to what's changing every single day, when you are a slave to your emotions, it changes. When you become a master of your emotions, when you become a master of your life, you gain that emotional intelligence, you gain that clarity to see through the distortions and the lies that your emotions create. And the moment you can see through that is the moment you can see clarity, is the moment you can see a path. Is it going to be an easy path to walk on? Not always. Walking away from that marriage was not an easy decision for her. But was it the right decision? Yes. Now, what was the easier decision? Of course, from society, from pressure, from family to drama, from everything that goes on when a couple separates, staying together is the easiest decision of all. But was that the right decision? Not at all. And that's the dichotomy I want you to understand. The right decision doesn't always feel like the right decision. It can feel heavy, it can feel burdensome, it can make you cry, it can make you feel that, yes, I'm going through something very uncomfortable. But deep down, if you know that this is the right decision for me, you will make it through and you will be proud that you made that decision rather than just listening to your feelings, because she has experience in what happens when you just listen to the feelings. She could have avoided the entire mess. She could have avoided the entire year of her life that kind of got wasted in this whole cycle that she went through. Because when she first started dating that guy, she noticed he had anger issues. She noticed that his temper got triggered at the slightest of things. And someone who was sweet as just one moment ago could turn really aggressive and really dangerous in the next. And when she saw that in the first few weeks itself, she didn't make the right call. She didn't make the right choice. You know what she did? She just listened to her feelings of love, to her feelings of being wanted, to her feelings of being chosen by someone whom she really admired too. And she gave herself the convenient excuse, oh, it's just one time. Oh, maybe he just got angry for some reason. Oh, maybe something else triggered him. She kept justifying that behavior. She kept justifying that unjust anger. She kept justifying all those emotions of his that were not her responsibility in the first place, just because she wanted the love, she wanted the marriage, she wanted the relationship. But ultimately, listening to her feelings only made her pay a cost she had not even anticipated. Now she's learned the lesson. Now she's better. Now she's stronger. But my question to you is, whether it's about your time utilization, or whether it's about something as big as a business partnership, a marriage, a decision at your job, and other high stakes moments, pressure can get to us. We can let our feelings and our desire for comfort distort the truth to choose something that's easier now rather than something that's truly right. And in that bargain, in that trade off for the comfort of the now, for the ease of the now, it's our future that we sacrifice. So the choice is yours, my friend. Do you want to make a decision that feels easy now, feels good now, but later on you end up paying the cost? Or do you want to make a decision that may feel a bit uncomfortable, may feel a bit new, but you know is the right one, you know is the powerful one? Now, if you want to gain that clarity on a whole new level about yourself, about your life, and you want to completely transform from where you are stuck, I do have some slots open for my one-to-one coaching. It's high ticket, it's specialized. I choose the people that I work with because I only want those who are serious and committed to the change. If you want to see that you qualify for that fast track coaching, which completely changes your life in just 3 months, there's a link in the description of this live session. Click it, apply, and we'll be in touch soon. We'll have a conversation. I'm excited for you to make that right decision of investing in your coaching, of investing in your growth. And I'll see you once again tomorrow at the same time, that is 8:30 p.m. IST. Till then, remember these two examples and just ask yourself this one question: what am I really doing? Am I being honest with myself and making the right decision, even if it doesn't feel easy? Or am I prioritizing the easy feelings now at the cost of my future? The more you ask these decisions, the easier and better it gets for you to grow, for you to succeed, and for you to live your dream life. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this lesson helps, and I'll see you tomorrow at the exact same time. Bye.